Not many people know this, but Michael Jackson almost played Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi movies instead of Tobey Maguire, and the story is wild. It's difficult for younger people to imagine a world where Marvel wasn't a pop cultural juggernaut with all of the money in the universe. But in the mid-90s, Marvel Comics was on the verge of bankruptcy. The comic speculator bubble of the late 80s and early 90s, where collectors were buying up multiple issues of comics in hopes that they would be worth money someday, had burst. People stopped buying comics. Sales cratered. By 1996, Marvel did file for bankruptcy, but there was something else happening in the 1990s, which is that Michael Jackson was trying desperately to cross over into acting. Another thing about Michael Jackson is that he was a huge fan of Marvel Comics. He was particularly a fan of X-Men and Spider-Man. And a third thing about Michael Jackson is that he was insanely rich. He was no stranger to just buying up massive properties when he wanted them. Famously, in 1985, he bought up most of the catalog of Beatles songs because Paul McCartney had mentioned to him in passing that a publishing company named ATV Music owned them, so he just bought the company. So MJ had an idea. What if he just bought Marvel Comics and then cast himself in a Spider-Man movie where he could play Peter Parker? So Michael Jackson approached Marvel Comics in the late 90s with a proposition to buy the company outright. And this was confirmed multiple times by Stan Lee in interviews, who was still working at Marvel as a publisher at the time. And while Stan Lee is known for embellishments and outright fibs in his interviews, this story was also confirmed by Michael Jackson's nephew, Taj Jackson. But there was a big problem. Michael Jackson was mostly interested in buying Marvel so that he could cast himself in a Spider-Man movie. But in an attempt to pull themselves out of bankruptcy in the 90s, Marvel Comics had sold off the film rights to most of their popular characters to various movie studios, including Spider-Man, which they had licensed to Sony Pictures. And by that time, they were already deep in pre-production for the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie that would eventually come out in 2002. And while there's no records of this, according to interviews with Stan Lee and Taj Jackson, after finding out that buying the company wouldn't necessarily give him the rights to make the Spider-Man movie, he then inquired about whether or not he could be cast in the Sam Raimi movie as Peter Parker, and if buying Marvel Comics would give him any power or leeway in influencing that decision. But apparently Sam Raimi and Sony Pictures were like, no, that's weird, and rejected the pitch. So Michael Jackson ultimately lost interest and withdrew his proposal to buy Marvel. But in an alternate universe somewhere, there's a version of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie where Michael Jackson is playing Peter Parker, and it's strange as hell. And real quick, if you like my videos and you want to see more in-depth writing from me, you can do that here.